Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and the law that is demanded by Zack Snyder, Netflix's Rebel Moon. All right. So, Vivek Ramaswamy, he is going to be president in 2024. He's going to be the 2024 U.S. president, and that means right now, not only does he need to be running, but if you guys understand the 100 days policy, he needs members of his team determining now what laws he's going to set in place and start the work to set laws in place on day one. So what I'm about to talk about, the law that is demanded by Netflix's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, needs to be worked on by Vivek Ramaswamy's team today so that it can be enacted on day number one. So what is the law that is demanded that Vivek Ramaswamy, as our new president, would put into place on day one for because of Netflix's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon? And that is no more unlicensed film writing. So Rebel Moon is astonishingly bad. It is an utter garbage film. And Zack Snyder owes me 2 hours of my life, right? Like, it is pure, unadulterated garbage, and there is absolutely no excuse for it because this movie was clearly meant to be the new Star Wars. Now, first of all, I do want to say, Mr. Zack Snyder, I applaud your courage, okay? Not many people have come for Star Wars. Star Wars has been such an absolutely mammoth success that almost nobody's even tried to play in the space opera space, right? But Zack Snyder went and created a new. His question was like, what if Star Wars was rated R, right? And then his answer is, it would suck. Like, it is so garbage. This movie, it is just abominably written. Okay, now I do want to say this, right? And I apologize. It is not a garbage film. It is the writing in Rebel Moon is utter garbage. The visuals in it are stunning, right? The references in it are very cool, right? Rebel Moon was like, hey, you've never seen a Warhammer 40K movie, and you never will, right? Like, but why don't I give it to you now? And that's a great idea, right? With Zack Snyder touches, right? And what is a Zack Snyder touch? It's like slow-mo and very stylistic, flashy, prestigious packaging of whatever he's shooting, right? And that part is great. And Zack Snyder is an amazing director who should never be allowed to write anything. And I think he was either writing this or did a terrible job finding a writer for this, because the writer for this, man, they owe millions of people 2 hours of their life back. This thing was pure garbage. It's so bad. Rebel Moon is so bad that that Hollywood should be the first organization to say, you cannot write a movie unless you're licensed, right? By the government. Now you're just like, wait, what are you talking about, Scott? Yeah, just like doctors, right? You cannot practice medicine in America if you don't know what you're doing. If you produce garbage medicine for people and rub mustard on their cut, you should lose your job. And so this is the point. Rebel Moon demands licensed film script writers, right? And the government will license them, right? And say, you are saying, guess what? Showing somebody's abs is not character development. Thank you. Next. Zack Snyder, no, right? And just basics, just basic storytelling was ignored in this, right? Like, you have to develop a character before people will care for that character. Any licensed, I just go to conventions to learn how to write. And I could have written this better. Like, this was absolutely abominably written. Like, it was just staggering garbage. And Americans need to be protected from this, right? So basically, we would take film script writing and make it the first type of writing that you have to be licensed to do. And if you don't, you're not allowed to practice writing. Okay? You're not allowed to do film script writing, right? Because the mistakes in these are A junior high student could have written better than this. It is just pure garbage. Completely undeveloped characters, asking the audience to care for them, a world that makes no sense, right? Nothing connects to anything. Like, it's just this should have been torn. Whoever received this script should have torn it up and said, "You're fired, bye, go get somebody else." Right? This thing is horrible. And Americans were unfairly subjected to it, right? We are not, and basically we don't let people, practice medicine without a license. We should not allow people to practice script writing, movie script writing, without a license. This demands writing. And Vivek Ramaswamy can come in and he can establish the law on day one, of Vivek Ramaswamy's 2024 to 2028 presidency. He can say, for the next 4 years, no one in this country writes a script until you are licensed by the government and basic storytelling. There will never be a garbage script on Netflix or anywhere else that was produced in 2024 or beyond ever again. America sets a quality standard, right, for script writing in America. Every single word you just heard, and that's the value of Vivek Ramaswamy. We can do things new. We can do things better. We can do things right. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.